as somebody who, as a pet owner of a cat, I think that was a pretty accurate depiction of what a heightened, intelligent cat would be like, you know.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 44 of the Audiobook Club podcast. Today I'll be your host, Jason, and I am joined by Jonathan, Michael and Stephen.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
And on this episode we will be reviewing the audiobook version of Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman and narrated by Jeff Hayes. So we've picked this up after doing the Fellowship of the Ring last episode. Why did I pick this book? It was purely random and Reddit told me it was good. So here we are. I was panicking trying to work out what I was going to pick. So Reddit told me this, but also Reddit did tell me other books were good, like Ready Player One, which were terrible. So Stephen wasn't on the last episode, so he didn't get a guess, but I think you knew a bit about it anyway, Stephen, is that right?
Yeah, I'd heard about it from someone else before.
So we had two guesses from Michael and Jonathan. I'm going to read them out, or try to read them out here. So Michael was first to guess, and he guessed that there was a guy named Carl in Dungeons. He compared it to like a Ready Player One situation. That was full marks, Michael.
It's a good guess.
He said it was like a Ready Player One situation. It was in an RPG type world. Can't even read my own writing, but there was something about boss battles to escape. And then Jonathan was following on from that, so he said he was immersed in the world. He said it wasn't a game, but it was actually real life, like Squid Game, and that the person would be dead if they were killed. I'm going to be honest with you, this was actually quite tough.
True. Well, you see,
can you do that again? Can you read
Michael's plus that extra? But I think Michael. The fuck out of my guess.
I think the thing that differs Johnny's guess from Michael's guess is that Michael sort of hinted it would be more of a game, whereas Johnny has said it will be real life. But Johnny did pick it back. Fuck off him.
To be fair, Michael had most of the points before I got a chance. So
I know. It's tough. I feel like Michael got you there, and the only difference is you just happened to guess it was real rather than like a simulation. So I think I probably will have to give it to Michael based on his getting most of the information.
Did Michael go first?
Michael did go first. Yeah.
Oh, that's not
but
fair.
Michael went first, and then Johnny went. Well, everything Michael just said.
Basically, the usual. Yeah.
So I think.
To be fair, that's the way I usually do it. Like, so I can't like shit on my tactics.
No, it was a tough one there. You both did well. Fairness. So yeah, that was us. So I think Michael's going to get the points for that. So it was a shorter book. I think after Lord of the Rings was a bit longer. Do you want to then just jump into what your sort of thoughts were on the book? Sort of a short wee summary from all of these. Who would like to go first? Let's go with Stephen, since he didn't get to join us last episode. So Stephen, give us a wee summary.
I loved it. It's my new favourite series.
Brilliant.
It's great.
Good.
No faults.
Good summary.
Well, you want me to actually give you a summary? Like a real summary, or just how I thought about it?
That's just
what you thought.
Just what you thought. No, that's great.
I love it. I love the world. I love the concept that it's like a dungeon, but it's actually the real planet that we live on. But it's been like taken over by aliens, and they have, there's some sort of legal system or like government where they have to, allow the people a chance at survival. I think that's really interesting. And there's this whole political thing in the background. I like that. And of course, all the RPG shit. It's good.
I thought it'd be up your street, in fairness.
It ticks all my boxes. It's good.
I'll go to Johnny next. Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say overall, beforehand, like, I think I never heard of this book until you mentioned it, Jason, and then I literally have, because I listen to like some like gaming podcasts and stuff, and literally they all talk about it at the minute. So it's like once you hear something for the first time, you then just do not stop hearing it being mentioned. So yeah, I think it's quite popular at the moment. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy the book. There was a few issues that we'll get into, but like yeah, like a lot of great ideas in here. One particular thing was like there was the like not only the bosses but just the general enemies. Like I think some of them were very, very interested in what they could do and all. I did laugh out loud a few times between most of the banter. It was mostly the banter between him and the cat, but sometimes, like him with the, you know, when he goes on the show and the host is a pure dickhead and all, like those bits and stuff I thought were really funny. So yeah, overall, pretty positive, just a few minor gripes.
Good, thank you. And Michael, anything else to add? Happy, sad, in between?
Yep. I was obviously the harshest critic of Ready Player One, and I did have reservations going into this book that it would be very similar. And I think it was in ways. You know, there was, when I heard like I'm referring to like the haptic suit or something like that, I was like, oh, like the PTSD was spiking up there. But I think like my main gripes with Ready Player One was I thought like I didn't really like the main character, and I thought the world building was a bit lazy. In this book, I think the world building is a lot better, and Carl is a lot more engaging of a character than was it Will in Ready Player One. So similar to Jonathan, I did have like some gripes with this book as well. This is my first like lit RPG book that I've ever read or listened to from that genre. And things that like this book goes into like a lot of detail about the mechanics of like how the RPG works and everything. And when I've played like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff with Steven before, and I've played like lots of RPGs and like Skyrim and things like that, I think like the mechanics for me are always like the least interesting parts. I'm more of I like the invention part of it and the world itself and stuff. So see, when it was like long descriptions of how the mechanisms and like the new achievement thing, like going on and on about that, sometimes could get a little bit grating and a little bit lost me a little bit. And those parts, I thought the audio performance and the production of the book was absolutely excellent. And I think I can see why this book is so commonly recommended as like when people write on to Reddit, what audiobook should I listen to, and this book is often recommended. So for me, it was a lot more positive than Ready Player One, but I did there was things that kind of dragged down my overall enjoyment of it. But yeah, overall, I think somewhere between okay and a good book, sort of fall in between those kind of viewpoints on it.
Thank you. And I suppose never really got into that. So yeah, it's a lit RPG, so it's slight variation from like our sort of normal listens. And I would agree. There's a lot of the mechanics involved in this, which can maybe go on a wee bit at times. I think that's probably more prevalent at the sort of start of the book, just when it's really getting you into everything that's happening.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And it is a convention of the genre. I know that it's not this book specifically. Like that is what lit RPGs do. So I know that's sort of an unfair criticism they like level at the book when that's just how the genre works. You know.
Just to jump in, like I have the exact like one of my major gripe was the exact same thing. It was just funny there when you were saying that, Michael. I was like, it's funny that you found the same thing. It's more like. I mean, like you said, I've played like so many RPGs and stuff. I know how they all work. So like when I was reading out menu things over and over again about like how this all works, I'm like, well, I already like my intuition already tells me how this works, but how can you get about that for people that don't know as well as we do? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I understand why you have to do that. But yeah, for me, it's just as someone who knows RPGs very well, I just like find, but that's so I know this is probably one of the things we'll talk about in the trivia thing is like, you know, I think you even mentioned this, Jason, when you picked this book that's going to be made on the TV show. I think it will work very well on TV show because you won't need as much explanation because everything will just be on your screen. you can see it all.
Yeah.
You can see the UI, you can see the menus. But yeah, the amount of times that he goes, oh, there was this new extra bit in my menu, and then they have to go through explaining that. I was like, right, come on, like, you don't need to do this again. Just tell me what you're going on there and clicking on. That's it.
Yeah.
And then how many times it mentioned the cat has a different menu because, he obviously has no hands, and how he like accesses items and all. I just thought it was a wee bit too much, but it's just a minor thing. And again, I'm like, how could I get around that otherwise?
Yeah.
For people that don't understand, but yeah.
I would agree with Jonathan.
Yeah,
I would agree with. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was going to say I can see why people would have gripes with that. But as you say, like, it acts as it is part of like the world building for the type of novel, type of book that was with lit RPG they're trying to go for. So
Yeah.
sort of like unavoidable, nearly in a way.
Yeah.
But
I would agree with Stephen too. Like, I thought the premise itself was really excellent and really creative, and I really loved the idea of just this being an alien invasion kind of way to bring it into an RPG, because I think, in my guess, I guess that he would just be like sucked into a game or something like that. So I thought that was a really creative and interesting way to do it, to make real stakes, because obviously we need it not just to be a game, it needs to be the real character and his life or something like that's on the line. So I thought that was a really good way to do it. The only other thing as well, for me, I thought it got about... I really loved the interactions with like the alien race and the like game show kind of host scene and things like that. But like on the dungeon itself, it got a little bit repetitive for me, and I sort of lost me towards the end of the novel. Whereas I was probably more engaged with like the start of the novel.
I would probably agree with that, Michael, myself. Actually, I felt maybe it gets a wee bit samey towards the end, but. Yeah, still for me quite an enjoyable experience. Probably will go forward and listen to more of it. Yeah,
I'm on book 3.
So you're in book 3 already, Stephen. So.
Yeah, of 8, by the way.
There's 8 and there's more. Is there? Is
There's
8
more.
the final? Or
I think he's doing one per floor now, and there's like 16 floors or something.
Oh Jesus! 18 is 18 floors, isn't it?
Maybe it's 18.
It's supposed to be 18 now. It's supposed to be 18. I know. Actually, I was looking in Waterstones at the actual physical books, because again, now I can't not see the covers when I'm in a bookshop. I'm like, oh, these are like really bright and obnoxious. Okay, so we're going to go on to our discussion now, and I think we're going to try and do things a bit differently this time. In that, I'm just going to try and summarize the whole book at once, and then I think I'm just going to pick sort of general story plots and points that we can chat through as a group. God knows how long this summary is going to be, but I'll keep it as short as I can. So we start off, we meet Carl, and we also meet his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, and essentially there's like an alien invasion and the world is like flattened and transformed in this massive 18 level dungeon. Some AI then tells Carl that he has an hour to decide if he wants to stay on the overworld or enter the dungeon, where he can live or die, essentially. He then follows, I think Princess Donut just runs in, so he runs in after the cat, and then we sort of have various like video game style interactions and menus and achievements and health bars and loot boxes and rules, essentially sort of thrown at us over a couple of chapters. We then have a sort of cast of various like villains and monsters, such as like the initial one is Carl gets chased by a pack of goblins, but he managed to escape into the tutorial guild, where he meets a character called Mordecai, who does a lot of sort of explaining of the rules as well. He sort of mentors Carl in a way. We also then find out about the syndicates and how they sort of turn various planets into their entertainment. Donut then eats an enchanted pet biscuit, and gains the ability to speak and think, and becomes a party member of Carl, and they become the royal court, I believe. And then we have a sort of traversal through the levels, where we meet sort of various characters, fight various sort of bosses. Like we fight one called the Hoarder, and we fight one called like the Ball of Swine. We fight a juicer boss, and these are all in the first 2 floors, I believe. Also during that we meet residents from a care home, Meadowlark Elder Care Facility, and other characters involved with that. Once we make it to the second floor, there's also then an attack by a monster called the Rage Elemental. After one of the residents, I believe, pees in the walls. That's something that they weren't allowed to do. Various then sort of crafting and leveling up and just general RPG sort of style adventures. Also then they sort of take part in certain television shows, being interviewed by guests and sort of taking part in like they sort of watch like a Death Watch sort of TV show. And we also sort of get a bit more insight into the sort of political nature of everything that's going on and how the Borant company, who is the ones running this particular dungeon, is going bust and has to sort of rush through things. And then finally, we're sort of, last part, we fight a frenzied gerbil. We also then meet Donut's new pet, a Mongo, who's a pet dinosaur. I think they're like a wee velociraptor. Getting used to getting to sort of fame and everything like that. Yeah, actually, I think that's it. I mean, that was a bit of a shit show.
That was a lot.
Right. Well, that's the whole book. So, as I said, I thought probably better to try and do everything all at once, as things might get a wee bit samey if we're sort of going through that very linear story of the gang going through the dungeon. Try something different.
Yeah, one thing you didn't mention, which I think we should talk about, is how the floors work.
Yeah.
So there's like a floor. There's like a floor per a certain number of days, and you can't go down until it's over.
True. Yeah, forgot about that.
And if you try and go, if you try and go down early, it puts you in like suspended animation, so you just like lose time effectively.
You have like a sort of certain period where you can enter, and then you're like free to go. So it's sort of sometimes not worth it to go early because then you can lose out and gain experience and all the rest, isn't it? So
yeah, so big part of this is to like, obviously fight the bosses and level up and whatever, but then also find a stairwell and then kind of wait it out and have an escape plan. Because if you don't make it there in time, you're dead. It's over.
The word, like the level just collapses. So I suppose that is like the sort of linearness of the world. I suppose is that it eventually boils down to just, we're on this floor, we need to find the next stair level, we're going to fight a boss or bosses, and then we're going to go down and sort of rinse and repeat, which is why I felt it was maybe a wee bit better to try it this way, break it up a bit.
That's funny. It sort of reminded me of a book we've done. We done right at the start. When Stephen picked the Inferno book.
Inferno, yeah.
Yeah, I had that in my head sometimes when it was like going on about the different levels and everything.
So that was a book that I wasn't part of the podcast for. I do remember listening to the episode way back when. Was that not like written by some like Irish guys or something?
No, that was a different book that I recommended.
Was that a different one? Sorry.
I don't know who wrote Inferno, but it's like a retelling of
Dante's Inferno.
Story. Dante's Inferno, yeah.
Aye.
And somebody else. There was two authors, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It was Larry Niven and Jerry Pornell.
So I can see the comparisons. Anyways, that sort of level progression, things getting more difficult with each world. Very much like any sort of video game. The further you progress, enemies get stronger, your loot gets better. You might be a wee bit OP at times, but things will level out. So I think the general mechanics do sort of follow that structure. Has anyone got like anything burning they want to chat about initially, or will we sort of just work our way through some of the characters first and see?
I wanted to say, out of the free video game books that we've done, Ready Player One and Free Body Problem, this probably is top of the pile for me out of those three. So
I would agree. Yeah,
I would agree.
Easily as well. It's not even a contest.
I always forget about the stupid video game thing and Three Body Problem.
I
just want to forget about that book. That book hurt my brain.
It made me feel stupid.
In ways that I don't think I'll recover from.
It made me feel very stupid.
Yeah.
So, I think let's just chat about some of the characters then. So, I suppose go just right off the bat. We'll focus on as a double team. Carl and Princess Donut. How do we feel about those two as a double act?
I like them. I think they play off each other quite nicely. he's like more tactical and stuff, and she's more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Gung ho, like she'll just dive in. Yeah, which is good because she's a cat, right? That kind of fits.
Yeah.
And she's trying to rein her in, and
sort of
and
got
they have
that
a
odd
good dynamic where it's like he was part owner of her, so he kind of feels responsible for her, even though she's a bit of a detriment to him in the start. It's nice.
Yes. I think they warm up to each other though. There was just when you remember, like, there's also a lot of time. There are two main characters in this book, so we spent a lot of time. I just remembered at one point, I think, I'm fairly certain it references Princess Donut watching Carl wank or something like that.
Oh yeah,
but she has like a quite yeah, it's like a very childish way of thinking about it, or it's like cat stuff or something.
She doesn't quite know.
She
doesn't quite know what he's doing or something.
Or is it Carl and his girlfriend, and she's like, you were doing cat stuff on her or something.
I think
yeah. No, it's a good dynamic, but definitely like an odd couple, like a more straight character, and then Princess Donut's obviously, as you say, like quite aloof.
Yeah, I would agree that they bounced off each other quite well. I enjoyed their relationship together, and I think Princess Donut was a funny character, an uplifted cat, and as somebody who is a pet owner of a cat, I think it was a pretty accurate depiction of like what a heightened intelligent cat would be like, He
definitely has a cat.
yeah. No, I like
Matt Dinniman. He definitely has a cat.
Yeah, I like their relationship together. Yeah. And go ahead, Stephen.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, just Jeff Hayes saying, "God damn it, Donut" is going to stick in my head for a long time.
God damn it, Donut.
I don't think
he does Donut's voice as well.
Yeah, his range is unbelievable in this book. It really is. It's amazing that it is like the one person, because I really did not think that. I checked back. I was like, was that one person? His range is just unreal. I did think Carl was, the affectation he did for Carl was a little bit weird for like a guy in his 20s, because he made him sound like this grizzled veteran in like his 40s or 50s. But
yeah, it sounds like an army vet, doesn't he? Like it sounds like it's just a Vietnam.
Well, he is
like,
still, well, sort of. He's a Coast Guard or whatever the fuck.
I was surprised when he was supposed to be like his 20s. I would agree.
Yeah.
If I had to fault Jeff Hayes in some way, I would say he is one of the topics I want to come on to and to speak about. But I suppose before we go on to that, Johnny, have you anything else you want to add about Carl and Princess Donut, or?
No, yeah, generally I enjoyed the banter, like especially in the like Carl, was always the voice of reason, and then Donut was obsessed with getting these views and stuff. I just think it was just a good dynamic. It's kind of like it as well. He was like the uptight one, and she was good crack at times, but then also it could have those roles reversed. But no, yeah, like the dynamic, and I think during the interviews was especially like she was like telling him just to be quiet all the time, but then he was like, "No, listen, I don't like this boy that's like fucking the goblin or the orc guy that was speaking them." He's like, "I'm doing the talking here now" and stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed their dynamic.
Yeah, and I like I suppose it sort of falls into like the overworld section, but I like the chat box feature where they could just sort of like write messages to each other. And like she was like writing in cap locks and screaming at him, and I do think it's like a gag a minute type of book. It's quite funny.
The achievements thing as well, like is always like basically jokes, like
new achievement.
Yeah, I
it's
feel
like, reward nothing. This is the reward.
And then there's the foot fetish achievement.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
it just gets progressively.
AI having a foot fetish.
That's right, full.
Gets progressively,
freak, isn't it?
creepier. Yeah, I think is it like sort of like that final quarter of the book where he gets like another achievement, where he like levels up to level 10 or 15 or something. It's just like the AI is just like wanking essentially. Yeah, I suppose. Before we go on to Jeff Hayes, then I suppose we're already sort of talking a wee bit about the general mechanics of the universe and the sort of positives. We've found the achievements to be funny. We've found the chat box sort of features to be funny, but you've already sort of spoke about it a wee bit. There was some sort of negatives to that side of the universe as well. Well, at least for you, Johnny and Michael. Anyways, Stephen, I don't know if you had any.
It was at first. It was annoying at first, but I got used to it, and I'm very much used to it now, and I enjoy it. In the third book,
I think it is overwhelming at the start. I think like those first few chapters, it's like a good couple of hours of just like that
helped. I think with the world building, because I'm pretty sure you mentioned this. It's supposed to be a game, right? The world, and any game, like at the very start, you get like bombarded with achievements and stupid stuff, right? So it's like copying that, which I appreciate. You get an achievement for everything at the start of most games, like
Yeah, it was. No, it's as I sort of said, like, and you sort of said there, like it is the world building in a way. It's just a weird way. It's just not what we're used to of world building.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost just like a lot of almost like exposition thrown at you, but like you do sort of need it, I suppose, for this genre. I say Michael, Joff, and you were a bit less keen on that side of things. Just found it a bit more overwhelming probably than both of us. But anything you want to add or argue against from what me and Stephen are saying?
No, I think yeah, I kind of mentioned at the start. I thought a lot of like just explaining the same thing multiple times. It's kind of like, again, like just because anticipation of knowing RPGs and stuff. I understand there what Stephen said too about like the achievements. You get loads of like we wanted to start for basically everything. There was literally like, it was more or less like half a chapter of just like achievement after achievement. Like, and I think like, again, if they did like a TV show, you would have the team pop up on your screen and then maybe like some voice kind of narrates it, so you have to sit and read it. But you could still get on and do other things while the achievements being read out or whatever, just as you would be in a game. But obviously in a book you can't do that because you have to have the text. But yeah, just it was kind of just minor things like that.
I think parts of it that I still find funny. I think it just was that it wore me down kind of. I read like some reviews of this book, the positive and the negative reviews, and some of the like negative ones would go on about how the humor was very like puerile and immature, but like that is my sort of, I like that. But I mean, I think Red Dwarf and Hitchhikers are both kind of puerile and immature as well. It's part of the fun of them. I think what differs with this one, like why some of the jokes wore on me, is the fact that Red Dwarf and Hitchhikers are kind of like a series of stitched together sketches, whereas this is more of a continuous narrative, and the jokes kind of repeat on themselves. And I think it works for some things. Like I think like the foot fetish joke, the constant like referencing back to that made it funnier, whereas like the new achievements and some jokes like that kind of made it like more tiring to me. But so it was like a mixed bag of how that worked for me.
I think that's fair. Like I could see why that would not float everyone's boat. There's a lot of it. There is a lot of it. I would say it feels like a good chunk of the book is just achievements and that sort of humour. And then I think, well, we've already sort of mentioned him a wee bit. Jeff Hayes' narration. I'm assuming we're all quite positive on that then. Managed to do an entire cast of characters and vastly different voices and ways of performing them.
I wasn't at first. It took a wee minute for me to get used to it. I was kind of worried at that old thing with me and the narrator, but quickly overcame that.
Yeah, I thought it was really excellent. I think it's a testament to his performance that when this is recommended to people online, they will say, listen to the audiobook. They won't say, read the book, That tells you all you need to know about how revered this audio performance is, and it does deserve to be viewed by that like that. It's just really, really great performance. And as I said before, you wouldn't even know sometimes that he was, like, it felt like a multicast at times. He had that much range in his performance and everything. And I mentioned like how Carl was like sounded a lot more. He aged up Carl, I think, in his performance, but that's pretty minor compared to all the good that he does in this book. I think, yeah, he really elevates like the tone and the eccentricity of the book and makes it a really enjoyable listening experience.
Yeah, even if you go on to Matt Dinniman's, is it Matt Dinniman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Dinniman.
Yeah, if you go onto his website, it's even got like a soundboard, and it's all clips from the audiobook. So it's not, he's advertising it like that as well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, even like when the TV show got announced, I think everyone was like, Jeff Hayes needs to be a part of this, like, in some way, like voicing the AI or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't do that, I would be surprised. Yeah, that would be crazy. Right?
I think
there's a guy right there
yeah.
that everybody recognizes that can do the AI. Yeah, and Donut, I guess, because it's a cat.
I suppose, yeah. Like, I don't think he'll be like, maybe he might have a wee cameo showing up, but I don't think he'll be like playing an actual character in person. I think it'll be more than narrating side of things. I thought he was. I think he's maybe one of our strongest narrators from any of the sort of audiobooks. We've just come off the back of Andy Serkis. I know you guys also all love Stephen Fry, but I think Jeff Hayes is probably up there as one of the best for me.
I would mark Andy Serkis down for Tom Bombadil, personally.
In terms of like how he elevates the written material compared to how other people elevate the written material, I think there is definitely an argument to be made for him being one of the best. I think I said a while ago that I'm going to read the written version, and then I've done that for a lot of books, but I didn't do it for this one, so I can't say that for a fact. But I would say that the audiobook probably is a lot better than the written version of this book because of his performance.
It put me off buying the physical copy of the book. To say I had the second copy in my hand, but then that was one of the factors why I didn't end up buying it. Was I think the audiobook performance is so strong.
Yeah.
That I'd be sort of missing that a wee bit. I think now that I know it's there, almost. Although I think I maybe would read it now in their voices in my head, almost as well.
Yeah.
If it was to read the physical copy. Grant, and then I suppose if we maybe just go into probably just one other character, there might be more that pop up or people maybe want to chat about, but I suppose like probably the other big character in this story for me, at least so far, is just Mordecai, the tutorial guild's master. I don't know if this was said in the book. I know he's like a shapeshifter. I don't know if he looked like a rat or something at some stage, or someone already made the comparison to Shredder, but for some reason in my head he looks like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's what I was picturing as well, yeah.
It must be mentioned
exactly like
in the
that.
book. Yeah.
He has a rat at the start, like the very
he's
first
a rat
thing
at the start.
That must be.
Like I think is he a changeling, and he changes every floor his appearance. Like he's forced, he doesn't get to pick or anything.
Yeah. So like we meet him, and he gives us quite a lot of the information about what's going on, and like he was a previous dungeon crawler, and he sort of tells us. I think he says like no one's ever made it past. I'm going to say like level 15. However, there's 13 was it? Sorry. Like, but it's like there's 18 levels, and I imagine that Matt Dinniman is probably going to force Carl into all 18 levels purely just for more books to publish. But
well, what I think's going to happen is they'll tear down the
regime. Yeah, I think
before that happens.
I think Johnny's right. Yeah.
Also, but I feel like he will. Carl definitely will get to like the 14th floor. Like he'll definitely beat the record, I believe.
I'm on book 3 and he's on floor 4.
Jesus
that's going to literally be a floor.
Or is it 5? It might be 5.
I was going to say it's really slowed down then. Yeah.
Yeah, it does go to like 1 floor per book for sure.
Well, I mean, I suppose this is also something that gets talked about is Mordecai and his ex-partner, who I think is one of the talk show hosts. I can't remember their name right now.
It's his manager, Odette. She was his manager, which is a different thing that we learn about in book 2.
Right. Well, try not to spoil anything then, but yeah, I suppose they give us they give us more of that sort of political insight into the world, into like the Bourne Corporation and what's going on with them, and the sort of general like evilness of the syndicate. I suppose this was never going to be like a self-contained story. Like, I don't think it could have just been like aliens rock up and for some reason make this like a dungeon crawl. You know, I think there maybe had to be a reason for that. You know, where did you like the reason? Like, do you like that sort of expansion on the world, like that sort of political over sort of sites? You know, it sort of feels like a bit Hunger Games to me, nearly in that way.
I do like it. I like that it's like, you know, they want the Earth's resources, and the only way to justify that and also to like make up more costs for it is to do a game show. I think that's like funny and also a good reason.
But also the game show has now become the more profitable thing. Like, it started as the resources, but it's like, no, like the whole politics behind everything is brilliant. Like, obviously we're only getting wee glimpses on that in this book, so like it's pretty much the subplot, but that's going to turn. It's one of the books where that will be the main plot. But yeah, I think having that in the background like definitely adds a lot. Like, it's more than just this game. It's kind of like there is like these wee things that come along in this book where it's, you know, it's because it's a game. They're bugs, and like, you know, they're always trying to make these bug fixes, but he's always trying to find a way to exploit it. And like, I'm sure this plot, like this, the whole thing about this Bourne Corporation's like, you know, I think they're bankrupt or whatever it is, and it's like that's going to come back in terms of, you know, Carl being able to exploit situations, which he already did in the interviews and stuff, because he was like, oh, they need me now because I'm making them so much money and stuff. I think that's, yeah, it adds so much.
Yeah, I would agree. With Stephen and Jonathan, I thought that it was handled well in this book. I think it struck a good balance between not giving us too much where it would have been like expository and would have drawn away from the plot of this book, but enough to kind of build intrigue and give interest and motivations for why everything is happening and why it's just not completely random. Yeah, no, it worked for me the way it was dispensed in this book. Whether that continues through the series would be something that I'd be interested to know. Would the way it's expanded on still feel satisfying? But the way it's done in this book, I think, is done well.
Yeah, I think so. To me, it just felt like Hunger Game me, but like in a good way. You know, I quite like the Hunger Games in the first place, but you know, I think just that sort of, it's not just a game. You know, there's this sort of political background to it.
The Running Man too kind of made me think
yeah,
of that.
Yeah. Well, I think that was something I had written at the very start, but I think it actually gets referenced in the book. Is I think I only recently sort of watched the Running Man movie, like the more up to date one. And that was the first thing that was screaming into my head was like Running Man-y, you know.
I liked
although I do think they say that then in the book.
One thing, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, Jason, but one thing I really like about this book too was the fact that the NPCs had these struggles and motivations from game to game. They were like, oh, we're stuck on this certain level or whatever. I like that they weren't just like cannon fodder, and there were motivations to them, because obviously, like a lot of the movies I grew up on, the grunts, nobody really cares about them or anything. And Austin Powers even like parodies this, where you see like the grunts being murdered and then their family get rang, and it's like he's not coming home. I always think about that, but
it happens in Rick and Morty. While that.
But I thought the way they give like characters like that actual motivations was a really good choice as well.
I like it. I suppose for me, what sort of sticks in my head just when you chat about like the grunts is like some of the goblins we meet. I think there's a couple of them. Well, I suppose like in terms of motivations, like they all have their sort of motivation. Like Mordecai's wanting to like he expects that he's going to work so many years and he's going to get freed, and then like some of the goblins I think expect they're going to work for so long and then they're going to get moved to like a higher level dungeon, like do a bit more meaningful work. But then he sort of fleshes out these, I suppose they're not necessarily NPCs when they sort of fleshes them out necessarily, but like the one that sort of sticks in my head is there's like a goblin I think keeps trying to shag Carl.
One of the shaman things, isn't it?
I think so. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other characters in this that I'm not going to remember all of them. I mean,
I feel like it's kind of sad with the goblins, because I get the impression that they don't understand that it's a game. They think it's like real, and like, it's almost like if they do their thing, they're going to go to heaven where it's safe and they get to just live.
Maybe
It's kind
they
of
do.
sad.
And yeah, there's like a religion behind it, as you say. There's that shaman, that sort of religious element to it almost as well.
Yeah.
Where yeah, it's like they think moving on will move them to like the safer bit, the better bit, better living, because they are low level grunts. There's not they're poor and essentially they can skid row. Yeah, I suppose that was a good point, Michael. Thank you for bringing that up. And feel free to jump in if there's something I'm missing, because I'm just sort of racking my brains here to chat through various things I think which are just important.
I think we quickly moved on from Mordecai there. Just, I don't know.
But I probably did. I mean, yeah, I think
Mordecai.
we went into political sort of side rather than Mordecai. So yeah, I mean, with Mordecai, as I say, Shredder, I quite liked him as a character. I'm assuming he's going to continue showing up.
Yeah, he follows them so far, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was said that he's going to be in like every sort of level, just like a different appearance. Yeah, I liked Mordecai in the section, Mordecai, and I liked the narration. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to add, as I haven't already add. As I say, it gets a bit more fleshed out as the book goes on.
I think he's just an interesting character, because he's been in a dungeon before. He's a previous crawler. He's experienced it all before, and now he's guiding people. It's an interesting concept, where he's like an indentured servant basically because of reasons, and he has to go in there so that he can get it. It's another level of world building on top of what we've already talked about,
Yeah, I suppose we didn't maybe chat about his backstory and that, like, he got so far in the world, and I think like every sort of level further he gets, like, you get offered a promotion or a way out. I remember,
yeah,
I can't remember what.
The thing is, like, if you get to the 10th or 11th floor, every floor after that you get the choice to leave, but you have to take like an indentured servant contract where you work for them for so many years or whatever, and he's like stuck in that.
Yeah, although he does think this is going to be the last one, doesn't he?
I think so, and it's something like if one of his crawlers that, Carl or Donut, gets a certain level, if they get to like level floor 10 or something, then he's like set up for life or something like that.
Aye. So
it's in his interest kind of thing.
To go back to the Hunger Games, he's the Haymitch in this scenario.
Exactly, yeah.
Unfortunately, Hunger Games is the only book I can think of now that has a mentor, but...
I have another there's another character, is the one, it's like their abhorrent contact, but she like bonds with Donut over
Zeb.
the
Gossip Girl, isn't it?
Aye, over Gossip Girl or whatever. I
was
feel like
fine.
that's like the Elizabeth Banks character from the Hunger Games. So I was thinking as well. So it's just like you can every character in this has a Hunger Games side part.
I did find that moment very funny.
Oh yeah, I liked how she's like a person she actually works for that corporation, but then she is willing to kind of help them a bit more than she should as well. So you have this kind of, even people that work for them are, trying to stab them in the back or whatever, because it's probably not a great working environment or whatever it is. But
there's also like an aspect where you're not allowed to badmouth them as well, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
you can't talk shit or they'll get you.
I mean, they are like,
you're not allowed to pish, or else they'll email or they'll send a elemental rage
send the boys.
So that is one of the things I was actually going to chat about, because I found the sort of like toilet running gag funny. Like, I thought it was just a bit. I thought it was just more for humour than anything. I wasn't particularly loving the sort of care home characters. I know it was probably a way of like trying to make Carl a bit more like sympathetic, like a hero sort of archetype. But I do like how they sort of blended those two together into like essentially the old man pissing on the wall, which summons this extremely overpowered elemental to kill them all.
I wonder if it was always those old people that were pissing, and that's who it was always like, the announcements were directed towards, or was just like other people doing this as well.
I assume others. Yeah, I think it just sort of, it came out of nowhere. For me, I think, that sort of shit just hit the fan pretty quickly with that.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the more exciting sort of sections of the book, especially with all the sort of grubs and everything as well that like multiply and like fill up the space. To me, that was one of the actual stronger bits of the book. Have you anything else to add on the sort of the old boys and girls, and the rage elemental, and the piss?
The old people
like
come back later on.
There's because they're still alive, aren't they? Like by the end of it, like someone. But
Yeah.
I like the characters that came with the old people. Like there's that one, the girl that, you know, when that guy passed, she like basically shot him straight away to stop him, and then she got killed as well and stuff. Like I feel like those kind of characters were good.
And she has like the skulls over her head, doesn't she? Or over beside her
She's
name.
had to like kill some of the old people or something.
Yeah, and I think I'll not jump ahead, but that will lead us into probably chatting about two other characters in a wee minute.
Yeah.
Michael, you were going to say something as well there, were you?
No, I think you're spot on with what you said. I think the primary reason they're probably there is to lend sympathy to Carl. It's like a common thing in like apocalyptic or like survival movies or like books to have the protagonist pair up with like the weaker ones to show that they're not selfish. They're basically
retain his humanity. Basically.
So yeah, no, I think that's the primary reason probably why they're there.
Yeah, and I think it works sort of both ways. Like it works for us, the reader. Although I'll be honest with you, I wasn't particularly loving it, but I mean, it works for us is to show the reader, but it's also then there's that sort of added layer of like the audience watching and him like getting famous and getting help.
Yeah.
Aye. And then if no one else has anything to add on the old people, Stephen says they sort of show up later on in the next book.
Yeah, one of them becomes a fan favorite.
Good to know.
Oh, I suppose one of the
leaderboard. There's a leaderboard type thing. Like
there's that whole thing before you go on to that thing, Jason, with that one old person with a shopping cart. Can't remember her name, but she's like, Carol suspects she's more than what she seems to be.
I think they sort of paint this woman as like a bit of a mad woman that just sort of disappears. In fact, I think they do just disappear. I don't know if that's the character Stephen's necessarily referencing.
It's not.
No,
the one I'm talking about is
obviously
the old. You know the old woman that Carl saves.
And that fancies him.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah, that one with the shopping carts like got like those like these like forbidden plasma weapons or something like that, and it's like she's got them in her like inventory in the cart. But that like the whole scene where he kind of discovers that because he's got like this menu on his UA that he can see items that he once had, and he sees when the hell did I have these guns, and then he's like, oh, it must have been when I took her shopping trolley. But then he's like, I don't want to talk to this person about it because if what I suspect is true, then I'll get absolutely wrecked by Borant or whoever if I let them know that I know. I just thought that whole stuff like foreshadowing something to come, but yeah.
So a few other things I think worthwhile mentioning. Two characters whose names I can't actually remember, but Stephen might remember, someone else might remember. Was the two
Frank or something? Was Frank one of them?
Maybe the two well, I suppose the one, because he didn't realise there was two at the start, but the two people they meet in the tutorial guild that try and kill him and Donut, who already had a skull above the names.
I don't remember their name either. I want to say Chuck or Lee.
I think Frank is the man, and then the woman definitely begins with M.
Is right, yes, Frank.
who do we then meet later on in a talk show, I believe.
Frank Q and Maggie Mai.
Maggie, yes.
That's the part where they have a skull above their head, so he knows they've already killed somebody before. Is that right?
Yeah. And they don't know that like trying to attack him, the tutorial guild will freeze them out or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then he like leaves a bomb in a dead body.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting.
I can't remember the person that killed. Was it their son? Was it their kid?
Daughter.
Is it
He didn't kill them. He injured them, but they would have healed. But then Maggie, the mother, kills her, and he's like, and then that's what he says in that interview. He's like, "Why did you kill her? She would have healed." But I'm assuming we don't actually know yet because she never answered. But I'm assuming it's like she probably thought like, a mercy. She shouldn't have to be in this place or whatever. But yeah, we don't know at this stage. Well, Steven might, but we don't.
I don't. I know they were already like player killers before though, because they had they killed that woman that they found. Remember?
I remember, but then the thing they try, or like he only thinks Frank's there. Frank's the only one there at the minute. And then he's like, "Oh, I had to kill these people because they tried to it was like from a shootout that was happening when the world went upside down or whatever.
And he's
but
clearly
then,
lying as well.
I think Carl works it out cleverly. Can't remember exactly how. It's something to do with his map or something. He knows there's somebody else there or something like that.
There's something fishy going on anyways.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I feel like there's more from them to come. I don't think they... That's where I'm
She's got a tracker, haven't they? They've got like a tracker now for Carl, so they know where he is at all times, and she wants to kill him.
I think so. Remind me again. So they meet them on a talk show later in the first book, right?
Yeah,
that's the only time we've seen them since.
Aye, I think they're like that looming threat.
Yeah,
who will show up again at some point. Much the same, like I imagine Carl's ex-girlfriend's going to show up at some point.
Princess Donut says it every 2 seconds, so I'm assuming it's going to happen
she's dead,
sometime.
Guys.
I think like the whole thing was like people who were outside were left alive, wasn't it? And then like she was away in like the Caribbean or something, wasn't she?
So it was nighttime wherever she was. It was like nighttime, so it was like she must have been inside.
I bet if it was like Caribbean, she could have been out on the beach or something like that. I don't know. I just assume she's going to show up.
I think she's on a boat trip or something, wasn't she not? She was like on a yacht or some shit. With her ex-boyfriend.
I guess that's like the Chekhov's gone. If she is mentioned, then she will appear.
I feel like she is going to appear because it's going to be like a source of conflict between Carl and Donut, right?
Yeah.
At some point,
she's going to go with her owner, and she's going to have to choose because he won't.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I hope when we meet her, she has like 50 skulls above her name and stuff. Like absolute fucking beast.
Full unit, yeah.
Also, I was just skimming through my notes. So the joke I was trying to find earlier was Donut mentions seeing Carl watching two women cleaning each other.
That's a good way to put it.
That paints
just
picture.
Cracked me up. It was like a wee bit of a slow burn, and then clicked. It was pretty hilarious. I suppose. I mean, the last thing I think I can sort of think of talking about them now. He's have more. Right, we've sort of mentioned a wee bit already about the NPCs. I just wanted to actually chat about and we've sort of. I hope it doesn't sound like we're slagging off it. We sort of said like it's a bit samey, like the structure of the book. But one thing that does really change and I think is really good in this book is the sort of variety of the sort of characters and enemies we sort of face, or card faces in this book. Some for jokes, like the meth dealing llama.
The juicer,
yeah. But I thought that was one of the strengths of this book, was that it wasn't like the same enemy type over and over and over. I think it kept it quite fresh. I think that's how they have to sort of keep it quite fresh, as you say, because the structure is going to be sort of linear in a way, but I think I really, really like the sort of variation of the enemy types, the different types of bosses.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that, but just on that, I think one of the things that I didn't like was, this is basically my only other gripe, is that I know they said that like once they get the floor free, the world changes or whatever, but it's like the first two floors were basically just these hallways. And I was like, that's very just like lazy. Like, why didn't you make these like these interesting biomes or something? Like maybe the first level could have been that, but why was the second one like that too?
Tutorial levels, you know.
Tutorial levels, Johnny.
I know that the first one's like a tutorial, but I know you haven't like chose your class and all that kind of stuff yet, but like I just felt like just make this like a bit better. I did like that the safe rooms were always like a fucking like a McDonald's or something like that. Like
funny,
like stuff like that was good. But like just the halls could have been maybe a wee bit better. But yeah, it was just a minor thing. But yeah, definitely agree with what you said. One of the best things about this, I think, was like the enemies and like especially the bosses. Like they're so interesting. Like the juicer, what was the very first one? All the rubbish and all.
I love that the juicer's just a roided out fucking gym rat, you know?
Yeah. He's like all saying these like, bro, come on, bro, and all.
The first one's the hoarder. That's what it is. And they spit cockroaches.
The hoarder, yeah. And then I thought the hoarder was like, it was really like sad the way the hoarder was like trying to fight him, but at the same time she was like, please don't kill me and all. She don't want to do this or whatever. I thought that was like so fucking dark, I guess.
And like the bosses, I think it also says like, are people from the overworld or are things from the overworld? So I wonder, like, are the bosses like the repurposed sort of materials of like the people that were killed?
I guess.
Early on that says, yeah.
Isn't there something too about in this book where they did like a lot of research into Earth before or something, so they could like incorporate a lot of like Earthisms into the actual game as well. Yeah,
there's a whole thing where Mordecai, like, I think he explains it, where they're sitting there for like 50 years and he can ingest like Earth material, like watching Star Trek and Gossip Girl and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know? And I think he even talked about one time where they got to go to Earth and he like raided a Blockbuster for some show or something.
I think you're right. Yeah.
It's funny, like, yeah. But yeah, so they're there studying, and I think that's cool too that they incorporate things.
Yeah. I would agree with Jonathan though about the I just didn't get a great sense of place or like setting at any point in this book, like and maybe it is because of the whole hallway.
It was just
thing.
like I'm just running down this hallway now, and then this other hallway, and I was like I couldn't really work out where he was and where he was going and stuff.
Yeah, in my head I never really had a
like
scene or anything.
Tunnels. Yeah.
Which I think would have made it stronger if there was more iconic like set pieces or something like that than this. But
or like if there's like a big mountain, you can be like, they don't know. Oh, let's head towards that mountain.
Yeah.
Book 2 is more what you're describing. Yeah, there's like a big city and carnival and all sorts of stuff.
There you go. So yeah, it's kind of like I did say that was going to happen from floor 3 and all, but I just don't understand why not just like maybe floor 1 do the tunnels and all, because it's just you're learning the game, but like floor 2 why just do the same again?
Yeah, I think it cuts both ways. Like you're kind of saying, if he packs too much world building in while you're also trying to get to grips with how the world works, like with the rules and mechanics and stuff, it might have been too much. But I don't know. At the same time,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what Stephen said, I think a bit more to the world would be good in hindsight. Although I didn't hate it too much. I mean, but yeah, I think if it was that for 18 levels, it'd be a different story. But I think for the first book, I didn't have a massive issue with that. Does anyone else have anything they want to chat about? Anything I've maybe not brought up, or anything good? Any major gripes that we haven't discussed?
I think I've gotten most of what I had out.
I think there's the other one with like I think we talked about the interviews, but the whole interview with the orc, and then like the orc being some kind of like prince or something of this race, and it's like, I'll see you on fucking like whatever floor it is that they're floor 8 or whatever they're going to meet, and like Carl's like, yeah, I'll see you there, like being all hard, and I'm like, Carl, you're going to get absolutely fucking annihilated kind of scale.
Because Donut has this mad tiara as well, doesn't she? That like, I think when they get to that floor, they have to kill all the orcs or something, isn't it?
Yeah, before she can proceed. And I think Mordecai even said to Carl whenever she got that tiara, like, don't, like, you should probably just ditch her at that stage.
Yeah, just impossible task almost.
I really enjoyed like the interviews and stuff like that, having to play up to the cameras. You guys have already drawn this comparison so much, like, but I'm not going to do it again. But
Hunger Games.
It did remind me of the Hunger Games. Yeah, having to care about PR while your life is on the line, and that being inherently sort of funny, like that you have to put your survival to the one side, and Donut is kind of telling off Carl because he doesn't have as much charisma to like finesse the interviewers, and that's what they sort of need for their goals. I thought that was an interesting element to the story.
Something different. I think keeps it fresh, keeps it not just stuck in the dungeon at the end of the day.
Because I was at the point where they do that interview with the orc, that was sort of the point where I was sort of losing focus with the story, because so much of it was, that was the point where it felt very repetitive for me. So I really enjoyed that scene, like breaking things up and adding that different element to the story at that stage.
And yeah, I suppose that's maybe something we haven't actually spoke about loads. I think Michael and me both Michael said it and I agreed, like I did find the sort of last quarter I just was maybe struggling a bit. I don't know if that was just because I listened to it all quite quickly, or it was just the actual story itself. I just was getting a bit melted with it, but it was a strong experience. But yeah, like I just felt by the final bit wasn't 100% keeping track and focusing on it. Maybe anyone else have like any issues with that, or were you quite locked in still the whole way?
I was fully locked in. It's a great book. I loved it.
Look forward to your score, Stephen. Johnny, did you have any issues with the actual story or pacing or anything, or were you happy enough?
No, I think like the main minor things that I didn't like were I've already basically discussed. So yeah, no, the story and the pacing was grand, like, and I thought it was kind of moved along well. So yeah, nothing else to say about that.
Good. Well, say something a bit different than how we talked about the book this time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it doesn't sound like a garbled mess to the listeners when they finally get to listen to it. But if we're happy enough, then I think we'll move on to our star ratings. You play the jingle there, Michael.
Star rating. The amazing jingle. I should have been a jingle writer like that. That is just an inspired piece of media. Like that's.
I absolutely hate it.
Charlie Sheen's character in what's that show?
Yeah, 2.5 Men.
Yeah. Why does no one else get a voice note in every episode?
I don't know. It's just funnier that way.
Nobody wants to hear more of my voice. It would be cruel to the listener, Jason.
Stephen, I think
Michael's
you
just
should.
like an AI who just fancies your voice.
That's it. I think we should all clip ourselves announcing a certain section, so it's not just me.
I'm okay with that, yeah. But you have to give me one.
Can you give us an example of how that would sound like?
Fuck off.
Give me a section and I'll do it. Go.
You're going to have to think all of those sections yourself, Stephen.
Oh, for fuck's
It
sake.
has to be natural, Jason. You said that naturally that day, like, so, you know.
I know you can't just do that on command. That's a piece of genius. That just happens.
Right.
The only way you can do it, if you want to, is to smoke a load of drugs and then it comes out. But
Well, I'm not gonna do it because Michael's gonna clip me and use me instead. So.
What's the section?
Well, it's a star rating who we already have a clip for. So,
It's just a question. yeah.
Stephen, why don't you do the next book? Put a wee bit of pizzazz in it.
Okay.
As in, like,
I'll do
for the introduction.
it when it when it's time to do that.
Right, good.
Is it time to do that now?
No, it's not that yet. Alright, we're on to our ratings. Okay, star ratings. Stephen, is that a 10 out of 10?
Oh, it's easy, a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I loved every minute of it. I said at the start,
What?
Can't fault it. No, I did loved every minute of it. It was great.
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Can't believe
10 out of
that.
10, easy. Love the series, love the characters, love the world, love the idea, and I'm on book 3. 10 out of 10.
Me and Stephen secretly agreed just to rate each other's books 10 every time. Bit of
Don't
match,
tell him.
bit of match fixing for the final scores.
Don't tell
That's
him the
because me and
secrets.
Joff on our decks, like,
No, you said it.
how to do something to combat that.
Johnny, what number do you like to give it?
Yeah, well, just to summarise my thoughts overall.
No, number.
Really enjoyed the book. I just give you the number, just no reason. No, I really enjoyed the book. A couple of minor gripes kind of went into detail about them, mainly the continued description of how the UA and all works, and yeah, the level 1 and 2 just being these hallways. But apart from that, like, it was very good. Yeah, so I'll say overall I'm going to give this an 8.5.
Still strong score.
Did enjoy it, like.
And then Michael, another 10. Another resounding 10 from yourself.
Also,
as that-
I want to check what Michael gave. You said this is the best of the free game one, so I'm going to check what your free body problem. You give a 8.
What? Did I give Free Body Problem an 8?
Sorry, wrong one. 5.5.
I was going to say that's
Ready Player One. You give a 2.
So I have to
Right.
give it a higher than a 5.5. You're basically saying.
6 or above.
Basically,
Well, 5.5 is between okay and no strong feeling. I originally said I think this is somewhere between okay and good. That appears to be about 6.5, but from talking about it, I think maybe I was being a tad harsh. I think this was a good, entertaining book. It just lost me a bit towards the end, but I like the premise. Characters were pretty strong. I did not like the setting kind of sense of place. I didn't have a strong feeling of that. The humour was hit or miss for me. It was funny at times, very funny at times, and then it was a bit overdone at times for me. So I think I'm just going to balance it and give it about a 7 for me on average.
That's high. That's high for Michael.
So wow, 3 10s in a row. Thanks, guys. So yeah, full house, 4 10s. No, I I would sort of say mirror what Michael saying about, and that it sort of lost me a wee bit by the end. But I think the gripes Michael has, I maybe care a bit less about. I would still say like a really strong experience. Although I don't know if I could say I loved the book if I did sort of fall off a bit by the end. But it was definitely a strong like. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I think that's also me being the reviewer, not wanting to score myself too high. But I think an 8. I think amazing performance, funny. I don't think any of the humour missed for me. I really liked it, and generally well constructed story and plot, and things were kept interesting. So yeah, I'm going to go for an 8. That might be something I'll revisit at the end of the year. But yeah, for now, we're going to go for an 8 out of 10. Perfect. I mean, we've already... So if we move on to the next section, comparison to other media, I think we've already talked a wee bit about, or talked a lot about that. So we can get Hunger Games and Running Man out of there. Does anyone else have anything they want or think this sort of rings any bells?
Well, Ready Player One, I got a lot of that vibe off this, and obviously I did not like that book, and like this a lot better than I did that, reflected by my scores. But I still got vibes of Ready Player One at times.
Any sort of media where they have to do some sort of contest to survive. Red Rising, for example, the first book. And
the South Park episode where they play World of Warcraft.
Digimon.
I like the very start. Thought was quite like Hitchhikers. You know, the aliens just coming on and just flattening everything. That's basically exactly what happens in Hitchhikers. Like,
do not slander this book.
Yeah, where a very horrific thing happens and it's sort of played for laughs. It's very, very similar to how Hitchhikers.
It's kind of like all the humans just get on with it, like, you know.
Yeah.
There's not much time spent with it, is there? It's just
yeah. No, there's no way.
There's a bit of that where he's like, "You will not break me" and all that stuff, you know. Just a little bit.
That's just Carl acting like a hard man, but
hard man.
If you're a hard man, so he thinks he's fucking all us.
He's just getting Vietnam flashbacks.
Wild Coast Guard.
Any trivia before we move on to the next pick? Or we've already mentioned the TV show. I think that was announced while we were reading the book. I think it's being produced by Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. To be honest, that's the only bit that I'm not happy with.
I know, I'm not buzzing about that
I think
either.
it could go one of two ways.
Yeah. I'm not particularly buzzing about that myself. Yeah.
He's only producing it, so that's not so bad, right? He's not writing it, as far as I know.
True.
That can mean like a comedian could have basically nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's just a money man or something like that.
Yeah.
Rolling it. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't know how to feel about his name being attached either. It could work. I can sort of see why he would be associated with this, to sort of blend into his style of humour. I don't know, any other trivia? Anyone else have anything? Probably has loads. I haven't looked any up. I never do. I always forget about this section.
No, I don't look anything up, to be honest.
I think it's not trivia, but if they made a game, like a video game of this, I think it would be insane.
An RPG.
An RPG where you get dropped in, like, you know, it's like it resets every whoop round, where you go on fresh and everybody plays from the start. And yeah, I think that would be massive. Could be a huge Twitch thing, you know.
It could be fun. Yeah. Right. Well, if that is us on trivia, then I think we have to go on to next pick, where I'm going to hand the reins over to Michael, is it?
The next pick.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that, Stephen.
Here's my stinger for you. There
that was great.
Thank you.
That was beautiful, Stephen. Thank you. Very professional.
There's
right,
that
Michael.
sophistication that I complimented you on earlier. So I am hoping that I could possibly recommend a book and a short story. You do not have to read the short story if you don't want to. I was hoping we could do this as a bonus episode. It's 40-minute short story that you can find on YouTube. So if anybody wants to do like a bonus episode, I want to recommend that too.
Wow,
If
man,
you're
you
next,
can't give us 2
I'm
homeworks.
picking 2 40-hour books for my next pick, and one of them's a bonus book.
You don't have to
You're
listen
not
to it. You
getting
can
good
just
scores.
he's can unionize and just collectively not listen to it, and then I'll be powerless.
Is there a reason for this? Are they related in some way?
No.
Do you remember in school where like the teacher would give you extra
No.
homework for no reason? Says that's what this feels like.
They're not even related.
Mess. No.
They could not be more unrelated. I couldn't have picked 2 more different pieces of media.
Okay, why 2 though? Explain that.
I just wanted us to do a short story just to try it. Because we
Okay.
did, what was it we did for the
Murderbot.
bonus episode again, guys? Yeah, we did the Murderbot thing. I thought we could try another short story, see how it goes. If it's shite, we'll never do it again.
I'm happy to give it a go, especially if it's 40 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that was literally one car journey.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So the book, as I said, I am rotating around, and the next book was going to be a literary pick. I was thinking about doing like a dystopian book, like Brave New World. For some reason, the idea of doing this book, us 4 lads, sorry, it just tickled me. So the book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, narrated by Rosamund Pike. I very much doubt that anybody's going to enjoy this book, but I think it would be a good episode. So that's my pick.
I love it.
And for the short story, it is called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. And you can find that on YouTube. I actually don't know who the author is for that. I'll have to double check.
Is this you trying to squeeze in your literary pick and your horror pick in one?
I've never actually listened to this story, and I've always wanted to listen to it the full way through based on what I've heard about it.
It's on
So
YouTube.
this is the first time
Right.
I'm picking someone. Yeah.
The YouTube channel I'm on is Epic Gamer Hector.
Well, the writer is Harlan Ellison.
Yes. Are we all going to listen to the same video? I feel like you have to
I'll
link
listen
as
to
a
that
video.
one too. I can see that one, yeah.
Just pick one and stick in the group
Do you-
chat so we all have it, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Sweet,
guys,
I like that we're branching out.
do you guys know what have any of you read Pride and Prejudice before?
No. I just know there's a
No.
lot of like adjacent things.
Do you want to give it? We'll do the guessing game then. Stephen, you sound like you're the most informed. We'll give you the first
I've
guess.
seen the film. I've seen the film.
Oh, have you? Well, I don't know if you can take part then, Jason.
I've seen Bridget Jones. No, I have a rough idea, I think, of what happens in this book.
I'll give you a guess first, then Stephen, see what you say.
Okay. Pride, I mean, it's going to be like a fancy, posh woman, and there's a lot of pride. A lot of pride. Obviously, it's like 1800s or something, isn't it? So it's going to be like, she's a woman and prejudiced through that, and I don't know. She's very prideful.
She's well proud of being prejudged.
He was a pride, she was a prejudice.
Yeah. No, it's going to be something like, let's see, 1800s. So she's going to like, I don't know. I think it's a romance book as well. So she's going to be like, betrothed to some random guy, and he's going to be a wanker for some reason, and that's the whole thing. The end. There's going to be like, I don't know, family stuff and all.
Prejudice.
You would not realise it listening to him, though that was a surprisingly good guess, Jonathan.
It's always good when you put the title in the description.
Well,
So Johnny's just going to say the same thing Stephen said now.
but even more prejudice than there is pride.
One of your dirty tactics.
I think. No, I don't know if this story, but I believe this is like the story, from Shakespeare, The Forbidden Love. I think it's like is it a rich woman and a poor guy, or it might be the other way about. And it's like, they're not allowed to be together because one's rich and one's poor, but obviously they do. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's what I feel like this might be. Is this the one with Mr. Darcy, or is that something else?
Yes, this is Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
Oh, that is that by Jane Austen as well? Is that a...
No, this is the character Mr. Darcy is on this.
No, that's what I mean now. Is this the one with Mr. Darcy?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I just know that character. I just heard the name before, but yeah.
And he's the hot one,
the
right?
one's the character.
He's who we're rooting for.
In the 2005 movie, he is played by the guy that plays Tom Wambsgans in Succession. So
That means nothing to me.
Surprisingly hot in it.
Nice. Good.
he's surprisingly.
Because he's not an attractive
everything,
man in fucking Succession.
Guys, what if I get really into romance books off of the back of this?
Him and Greg should have fucked. Alright, so this is annoying because I never get to guess.
Do you want to guess? And
We're
I'll
still being
decide
so
well?
eligible.
Oh, but you have seen the movie now. You can't guess now.
I obviously know exactly what happens.
I can picture Keira Knightley as the main character. No, I can't guess. Can we guess for the short story?
Actually, as I said, I haven't actually listened to this, so I don't know what it's about much either. But you can go ahead.
That's alright, that's even better then.
Let me guess first.
What is it again?
I'm
What's
going
it
to guess
called
first.
again?
I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison.
So it's going to be about someone who doesn't have a mouth, and they're walking about the house, and they had their big toe. They had their big toe, but they can't scream
because they're mad sleeping, and if they scream, they get bit.
Plus, they have no mouth.
Oh yeah.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
I think it's going to be like a telling of that, that saying, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil sort of thing, or something. And there's going to be horror around that, where like maybe there's one of each of those, a person embodies one of each of those things for some reason. And then Saw is there.
Just like,
I think it's going to be Tom and Jerry type slapstick, but the guy can't scream.
I really hope so.
Jonathan,
is it a horror? Do we know that?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Surely. Existential, anyways.
I'm assuming then it's something like somebody witnesses some, like a murder or fucking rape or something like that, some very bad crime, but for some reason he cannot tell about it because, I don't know, maybe he is like, I don't know, in some place that he can't, like the person that's done it will find him or whatever and knows he's there, but he's unable, I don't know, something like that. Just go with the crime. Somebody sees a crime and he can't tell for some reason.
Everybody locked in their guesses then?
Just to add to mine, do you ever see or do you ever read about the Metallica song One? Or see the music video?
Yeah.
It's like the World War One one, though.
Yeah, but I think the music video is like some film or book or something where the guy is injured in war.
I talked about that book before. Johnny Got His Gun.
That's the one, yeah. He's injured in war, and then he can't, tell everybody that he's suffering to put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
It's that. That as well.
That's not bad, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Stubbed his toe. Mousetrap on his finger. Stands on a rake. He can't tell anyone.
That's the exact same thing as Johnny Got His Gun.
Tommy got his gun.
See, at that part of the episode, Michael, I want you to edit in the Tom screaming noise.
Or yeah.
Like this episode has descended.
Spotify will
already.
absolutely eliminate our podcast for plagiarism.
Michael, put all the links.
Would you put the link for the YouTube and the Discord?
Yeah.
Well, while Michael does that, I'll move on to the final section, which is what are we consuming?
Someone has to do a stinger for that. This is the rules now. Go, Michael. Just do a wee voice stinger for the what are we consuming?
Can you give an example of what that would sound like?
No.
I don't have a mouth, Michael, sorry. Right. Someone tell me about their consumptions.
I'm watching Game of Thrones again.
Oh.
I'm in the cycle, guys. I'm in the loop.
Is there a reason, or is it just because it's time?
It just kept getting clips. It's what happens to me a lot recently. I'll get a lot of clips and then I'll want to watch it. Like the other thing that I keep seeing a lot is SAS Rogue Heroes.
Oh yeah, I see that all the time too.
that.
I mean, you watch that as well.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch that. Looks good.
It's on BBC too, so it's like no ads or anything.
So Stephen, you're watching Game of Thrones.
Watching Game of Thrones, playing World of Warcraft, doing a Nuzlocke on Pokemon Emerald, usual stuff.
Before anyone else goes on, is there something happening with Pokemon Emerald and Nuzlocke? Because all of a sudden I'm like getting advertised, like Reddit is like pushing Pokemon Nuzlocke, Pokemon Emerald subreddits. I guess I get a notification from me.
I'm not aware of one, but it's just I don't know. I just randomly decided to do it a couple weeks ago, and I pick it up every now and then.
Just weirdly, I don't think I was on the Pokemon Emerald subreddit, but like for some reason I've just started getting like notifications from the Pokemon Emerald subreddit.
Haven't seen anything
coming up on my phone.
That's cool if there is.
It's just weird timing. Very good. I'll just go to Johnny next then. Johnny, what have you been up to?
Well, I think since last time, thanks.
A big sigh.
There's just so much going on. Yeah, so let's start with some gaming. I've been playing a wee game called Valheim. Have any's heard of it?
I think I have it. That's the Viking one where you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of got like Minecraft elements as well, so it's kind of like a survival crafting one, but it's like Viking setting. But it's pretty good. But so it was an early release. Like I think 2021 was when it first came out in early release, and I think I got it back then, but I barely played it. It was like kind of one of those COVID things, just something to do. But it's actually now getting released finally after 5 years. Like a proper release. I think it's October or something. Yeah, so I feel like everyone's kind of coming back to it now. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to jump into that and actually get my way through it. So I've been playing a lot of that. It's pretty good. Like it's pretty cheap. Like so in early access, so like if you get it now before it comes out properly, which you can only really do on like PC, but it's like 12 quid or something like that. So yeah, it's an absolute bargain for the amount of hours you can put on there. Like, so yeah, I was playing that. I was watching The Wire, still kind of working through that. I think I've been watching that for a while, kind of just doing one episode or so a week.
Is that your first watch of The Wire?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, because I watched it recently, the first time too, after Jason suggested it. How are you finding it?
It's it's pretty good. Like it's got very Breaking Bad-y kind of similar. Obviously, it's like about police detectives or whatever, but it's I just kind of find it that similar kind of genre.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I couldn't stand the main guy though, as I kept telling you.
Oh, McNulty.
McNulty, yeah.
You hit McNulty.
The whole way,
I
too.
think it's funny.
The whole way. Well, there was a wee redemption in the middle, actually, but then he fell over again.
I like the two old boys. They're kind of, I guess that's where, the two characters out of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Can't remember their names.
Yeah.
The two, like, old boys that do nothing. They're like those two characters are based on or something, because, or maybe them two in The Wire are also based on, like, something like that. But yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. I think it's like one of them, like, falls and, like, basically gets, like, he'll get paid now for the rest, like, until, like, retirement, or gets an early retirement pay or something like that. And he tells the other boy about it, and the other boy's going to do it, and he's like, oh, just pretend you fell down the stair, like, just, like, fall down the last few stairs, and also he's, like, trying to, like, like that one day, and, like, somebody's, like, coming on while he's doing it. But, no, it's good, enough. Yeah, I've been kind of I want to get on the House of the Dragon. I watched the first season a while ago, but I hear this third season's come out now, and apparently the first 2 episodes are, like, unbelievable.
First 3's good.
So
I've caught up, yeah.
Well, there you go. So, I kind of want to go and do watch the second season still. So I think I'll possibly watch that as my next main show. I usually kind of do a season of The Wire, for example, and then do a season of something else and back to The Wire. But yeah, I also have been watching Mock the Week got revived a few months ago by a company, TLC. So like it used to be on BBC, I think, but they stopped after like, I think it was like 25 seasons or something. And then it's got revived there. So I've been watching it. It's Mock the Week. Like, it's just,
Frankie Boyle allowed back on it then, if it's not BBC.
I don't know. He hasn't been on it yet, but yeah, it's kind of a few similar faces on it. Still hosted by, what do you call him?
Dara O'Brien.
Dara O'Brien, yeah. And yeah, no, it's just something like, you can just stick on just in the background. But yeah, in terms of books then, I listen to, so Bob Mortimer has a couple of like, he writes actual like, actual stories.
The Satsuma
his
thing.
first, yeah, so it's the one I'm reading right now, is the Satsuma Complex. So it's kind of like I think it's like a murder. Oh, I've only a few chapters on that, but basically someone's been murdered, and it's kind of like, whodunit almost, or like going through that. But
I read that. Aye.
Yeah, so I'm reading that. I read his autobiography, or of like the thing that he released before about his kind of like, because he had like heart surgery or something like that. So he was kind of talking about that and all. But yeah, I read that. And then I'm now working for Satsuma, and then I think he has another one, Hotel Avocado, and then I believe he just released a new one there, like last month or two ago.
There was one released when we went to Glasgow there, me and Michael. The Long Shoe, I think it was called. I bought it in the airport shop.
Oh, there you go. So, kind of working for his books. So, that's kind of all for me in terms of my consumption.
You reminded me, I've been playing a lot of DayZ. Put that on the list. I've been playing a shitload of DayZ.
DayZ?
Yeah, man, DayZ's back. It's back, it's all the rage. There's a new map coming soon. It's gonna be big.
That's a blast from past there.
It's been so much fun. Me and some online friends.
I used to love watching playthroughs of that, actually.
You're playing on the winter maps of Kyle. It's like, it adds a whole other level to it. Like you have to stay warm and stuff like that.
Good to know. Good to know. Michael, you been up to much? You very spoiled some of it. Our pre-recording conversation.
What did I spoil again? I forget.
Forgot about that.
That you and Jonah were playing Lego Marvel.
Oh yeah, Jonah gets me to play Lego Marvel because we can play. It's one of the few games that can still play.
Is he still flat out in the Minecraft?
He is, but he's diversifying a bit more, but he does still go to Minecraft a lot.
So he's diversifying into stock in other games.
Yeah, he has his portfolio.
Get him on the Michael, it's good.
Well, we all, particularly myself and Stephen, and I had Jason, Michael, he's maybe a bit less so, but like we still stock the gaming world, so it never goes away once you got it.
Yeah. No, I don't game as much these days as I used to. I think like people who are younger, when they get afraid of losing certain interests and stuff, I think what happens when you get older is like it's not that you lose what interests you have, it's like you concentrate on the certain things. So when you're younger, you can have like 8 different interests. When you're like older, you have to like focus it on like 2 or 3 things then. Because I know a guy who gamed until he was like in his 60s when I was retiring from where I work, and he still gamed. Like, so if it's something that you love doing, you'll still do it. You'll still find the time to do it. It's just I picked other things to do sort of gradually.
That's going to be me. I'm going to be in the home calling people noobs and all.
Yeah, but Europe has experienced a few heat waves since we last recorded. Been absolutely baking, and I've been biking outdoors a lot more. I mentioned on the last episode, I think that because I was biking on my stationary bike, I could watch a lot of movies, so I've watched a lot less in that time because I've been outdoors so much. But I still watched a few things. Went to cinema twice in that span of time. Once with Jonah and Greta to see Toy Story 5, which I thought was really good.
Agreed.
Still waiting for them. They might. Have you seen it, Stephen?
Yeah, I saw it with Molly and Saturday it came out. Very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, especially like
what was that, sorry?
Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5.
Oh, I have a funny story about that, actually.
I think it was better than 3 and 4. I'm willing to say that.
3 and 4?
I'm willing to go there, yeah. Both of them.
I would agree with you, Stephen, honestly. I thought it was really good. But I especially like the Buzz Lightyear subplot, like all the Buzz Lightyears. I thought that when that started, I was like, oh, where's this going? And it actually was like a really, really satisfying payoff in that story.
Don't want to spoil it, but I was worried, obviously, I think like a lot of people were, that they were going to mess up the ending of 4 with Woody, right?
Yeah.
But I actually think it worked really well. I liked it a lot.
Same. I did go on it very skeptical, like, oh, this is it. Surely now there are like, this is just a cash grab or whatever, but they actually did tell a really good story with it.
Yeah. I like it didn't focus on him either, you know. He was just kind of, him and Buzz were kind of the B plot, which I really liked.
Yeah, definitely. Jessie is more the central character. Jessie and, what do you call the little girl again?
Bonnie.
Yeah, Jessie and Bonnie are a lot more central in that compared to Woody and Buzz. Another movie? Do you want to go first before I go on? I mean, Jason, sorry.
Just jump in. On the topic of Toy Story 5, we tried to take our 2.5-year-old niece to the cinema to see it. We tried taking her to the cinema before. It was not very successful, but we tried a game of Toy Story 5 because she sort of sat in the house and watched a bit of it. So we thought she might be engaged enough, and got her in the cinema. And literally, as like the opening like scene starts, she's just like, "Okay, time to go home now," and then we would not sit still.
I had the same thing with Molly. I had the same thing. Yeah.
We had that experience going to see the Paw Patrol movie. Jonah was like, I want to go to my home now after all the snacks were finished.
Yeah, same, exactly. Even now, like, Molly's 5 and even still, she gets up halfway through and she's like, when's it over? And I'm like, shut up. They're having a heartfelt moment.
We probably saw 5 minutes of Toy Story 5 before we had to leave.
Oh, that's rough.
Sorry, Michael. I just had to get that in there.
No, it's okay. Jonah's actually, but the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie played before that came on, and Jonah actually said he wants to go watch it. And like, he won't watch like a Marvel live action movie the whole way through. Like, but don't know if he's still too young to go see a movie like that. But
you could try, I suppose.
Yeah. Another movie I went to see with Greta is Obsession, which is a horror movie that's got a lot of buzz recently.
It was like low budget or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, by a YouTuber, Curry Barker. I actually know him, not like personally. I mean, I know I've seen like his YouTube videos before I watched the movie. So it was surprising to see that it was made by him. I thought it was a very, very good movie. I think it justifies a lot of the buzz, especially the young woman. I can't remember her name, Andy something. Her performance on it is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, it definitely lives up to the hype. I think like a lot of buzz about it too is a lot of online people have been saying, oh, it's the best since Hereditary or the best in a decade, which I think is going a wee bit too far because last year we already had like Sinners and Weapons and Smile 2, which were really, really excellent horror movies too. So
in terms of horror, because I've kind of read about it and I was just wondering, you know, like I watched Weapons there recently and I'm just trying to watch a few more horror movies. What do you think in terms of, is it watchable?
I'd say it's less.
Is it like less than Weapons, would you say?
Scary than Weapons, I would personally say, but it depends what things would get to, you know.
See, that's why I think I would be alright with it, because I know it's like her obviously being obsessed with him and she's like starts like fucking stabbing herself and all that kind of stuff, so I know like that's alright with me, so usually, but I just wanted to know.
Yeah, it's more, I can't remember many jump scares, it's more disturbing, kind of intense.
Yeah,
and like it's very claustrophobic movie because a lot of it, obviously, because it has so low budget, a lot of it takes place and like has home or the place where they work. There's very few settings, but it kind of it makes the movie like feel more closed in, and I think it works for it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend watching it anyway. It was a really good movie, a really good performance. We also went to Belsonic to see The Cure between the time we last recorded, and they were very, very good. Robert Smith, I could not believe how good he sounded live. He sounds the exact same he sounds on the albums like fucking 30, 40 years ago. And he's still very committed to the bit. He's like in the full goth makeup and his hair is like wildly out to the side. It made me feel better about my hair, which is very unkempt at the moment and getting there, but it's nowhere near as bad as...
He's got like a bit of like Sideshow Bob hair, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a great time anyway seeing them, and shout out to a guy, I think Richard was his name, who gave me a sip of his Tenants coming out of the toilet of all places.
That was absolutely filled with roofies, like.
There would be the least bad thing in a Tenants because that is an awful beer, like, but
oh, it's horrible.
Whoa.
No offense to the Jason.
You
or
spent
the
too much time in Glasgow, Jason, if you're saying these things.
It's brewed right here, like.
I'm sure it's better over there.
It's nice and fresh.
Probably, I was like, I always hated Carlsberg. Like, me and Michael's dad would always drink Carlsberg, and I was like, that's the worst beer. But then I went to the Carlsberg Museum in like Denmark and had like a pint there, and I was like, oh, so it's as fresh as you're ever going to get it. And it was delicious. So I was like, yeah, if you're getting it right at the place, yeah, it's probably good. But yeah,
Carlsberg, Coors, and Tennent's are like the holy trinity for me for like the blandest beers ever.
Yeah.
See, I would agree with the Carlsberg and Curse, but even before coming to Glasgow, I wouldn't put tenants there. But anyways, I think it's nicer in Glasgow. I will say that. I would drink it quite happily.
I'll keep an open mind. I'll try it in Glasgow if I'm ever over again, Jason.
Alright, next time you're here.
Yeah. Reading. I'm currently. I finished a book about Julius Caesar. Took me like 10 years to finish, and now I'm currently reading Catch Me If You Can. I've seen the movie a long time ago, and this is the first time reading the book. But I'm about halfway through the book and really enjoying it so far.
Is that the film with DiCaprio and Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. I've seen a few clips of that.
Yeah, he like pretends to be a pilot and then a teacher and a lawyer and
he's a doctor or something as well.
Yeah, he does a stunt as a doctor as well. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it for me. The main things anyway.
Thank you. I'm trying to think what I've been up to in the last 2 months in terms of video games. Not loads actually. I've really sort of stopped playing video games recently. I did finish Resident Evil 9. But I don't think I've actually even turned on my PlayStation in a few weeks. At least I've not been on to play a video game in a few weeks. Anyways.
You should get hard on the Daisy.
Michael sort of said. But was that ever on console? I thought that was always PC.
No, they had a console release as well, yeah.
Maybe. In fairness,
I don't think there's crossplay.
I really enjoyed the...
Yeah.
Well, I used to really enjoy the playthroughs. I have no idea what my next game's going to be. But I've not played much video games, as I say. Movies, TVs, like what I've been watching. So me and Mary Kate, literally yesterday, we had a very, very lazy day yesterday and sat about the house and we watched the entire first season of Righteous Gemstones. If anyone's ever seen it.
No.
You recommended it before, but I don't think I've seen it.
I've never seen it before.
It must be another thing about gems that I'm thinking of.
Uncut Gems?
Maybe. Probably was Uncut Gems, actually. So Righteous Gemstones is Danny McBride, who writes it and directs some of the episodes, and it's about like a family of televangelists. I didn't expect the story to go so... It's almost like a black comedy, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be a bit more like around just like them being televangelists and just being like rinsing people for their money, but it actually goes beyond that. So yeah, we like literally yesterday we rinsed through the first season and a bit, and we're almost finished the second season. I think if I wasn't recording this podcast, I'd be right on the third season, to be honest.
What's that on?
And I wouldn't be surprised. It was HBO. So you might get it on like Sky or something as well, or like Now TV. There's 4 seasons of it apparently. Yeah, really, really enjoying it. Probably have that finished within the next week and a bit. Movies wise, I don't think I've been to the cinema at all in the last, well, apart from the 5 minutes of Toy Story 5. I don't think we've been to much else, at least from memory. I mean, recently we watched The Bronx Tale on TV for the first time. I thought that was quite good. Like a nice it was sort of nice, a nice coming of age story set in like a gangster movie. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else I've watched. Probably have been loads, but I can't think right now. Probably watching the football quite a lot. And then reading wise, I think I said last time around, I finally finished that massive book, A Little Life. I then moved on to a book called Buffalo Hunter, which is like a vampire novel set in like America around the time of like the sort of settlers coming over and the natives and buffaloes getting killed and all the rest, and all these sort of different massacres. It's a good book, but I'll probably just leave it at that. It's good. I don't know if I would ever recommend it in an audiobook format. I think it would be quite difficult to keep track of where you are. And then I've moved on now. I've sort of started back my Brandon Sanderson hype. So I've been reading more of him. Sort of getting further into the Cosmere. I think that's really what I've been up to. I'm away on holiday in like 2 weeks' time.
Me too,
to
man.
the south of France.
Me too.
Why? Where are you off to?
We're going to Spain.
Oh, lovely.
Somewhere near Benidorm, I think.
I'm not been to Benidorm. But I were away. It's Mary Kate's 30th next month. So it's a sort of like a slightly bigger trip than normal, just to sort of commemorate the 30th. Going with her and 2 of her pals. And we're going to meet another pal who lives in Marseille. And I think we actually have another pal flying over to meet us in Marseille. So should be a good crack. hopefully. Just going to rent a car and sort of drive about the south of France for a bit. But I think that's us. We're all happy to call the day.
Yeah, happy enough.
We'll catch you on the flop.
Michael, just
so you're trying to get
a load of loose sayings by AA just to do them and see how that comes out. Sure.
I'm trying to get all the stingers. Yeah, I'm trying to absorb them all for myself.
I don't really like my stinger, but you have all of them.
I don't listen to it back.
I do listen to it. We have then our next episode. We will be doing Pride and Prejudice, so we'll have a very interesting next episode, I'd say.
Wear your fanciest cravat.
Actually,
I'm scared that I'm going to get really into romance books.
I was thinking about reading the books. I think Mary has some of the sort of classics.
Just when I was thinking, what would it be a book that's unlike anything we've done, and then I just thought it would be interesting.
And that's for us 4 lads to do a female author for once.
Yeah, we're very undiverse.
Like story.
We have done Harper Lee as well.
Good for us.
Good for us. Hey, just pleasing.
Both my picks anyway. I would like to point out.
You love a female protagonist. Though.
Have I not?
You have a type.
You also did Mistborn, which is a female protagonist.
Is that the Compass book?
No, Compass book was Northern Lights, also a female protagonist. Has anyone else picked a woman?
Here, I picked the Lord of the Rings book, which is known for its female characters.
Oh, aye. All one of them.
All 2 of them. But never
all 2 of them, yeah. Three if you count Lobelia, Sackville Baggins. Just saying. And I would as well, as a you'd have supporter of.
You have to look. I mean, she'd beat the absolute bejesus out of you.
Oh, not 4 because Rosie Cotton as well. There we go. Look, there's loads.
She's too many.
Absolute chuck flip.
She Oh. There's that one too in the movies. I don't know if she's in the book, but that she puts her wains on the horses. Whenever they're attacking the Rohan place.
Oh yeah. That's a twofer because one of them's a girl.
No, I think they might be both boys.